Yeah,
Anyway, what's up? How you doing?
what's going on, EJ? I have so many questions, so many questions. Let me just tell the people, because we already recording, just FYI,
Oh, look, thanks for letting me know. All right.
we on. We met in EJ and I met in 2018, right? And for Real World Atlanta. That's the first time we met.
Yeah, somewhere around there. Yeah, dang, it's a
Okay.
long time.
So EJ is a fellow producer in television and production. He does all of the hot shows. He did Issa Rae's Sweet Life, and he did Real World with me. That's the only show we worked on together, but we've
Real
been
world, yeah.
friends. We've been friends ever since. We've been cool ever since. And somebody that I look to now who's just like doing big things and just such a hard worker. So I appreciate you, friend. I do.
Look, I'm trying to be like you, get my own thing popping going on.
So today we're discussing soul food.
Yes, ma'am.
So I'm gonna start with this. Let me start with some housekeeping real quick. So Soul Food came out in 1997. It's an American comedy drama film written by director George Tillman. This is his first major studio debut, and the story tells of a family, the Josephine family. Big Mama Joseph. She falls into a coma during an operation to amputate her leg. It throws the Joseph family into chaos. Ahmad, her grandson, watches as his mother, Maxine, and aunts Terry and Tracy struggle to adjust to their family matriarch's sudden absence, and they fall into old rivalries. They share memories and work to maintain the long-standing tradition of family Sunday dinners. So, EJ, I've been trying to get you on here for a while. And at first you said you wanted to talk about Swarm, but then you pivoted and you said, let's do soul food. So tell the people why you wanted to talk about soul food first.
One day. Well, first of all, thank you so much for having me on this podcast because of course, I always watch and admire what you do. So thank you for having me on and congratulations for everything that you're doing. I wanted to talk about this because I seen like a post one day or some type of post talking about how Terry was actually not the villain in this whole thing and blah 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 and all that type of stuff about how like the family dynamics and everything really was kind of it's old school, but it wasn't right. And like family traditions, if you want to keep things going on, but also it's kind of repeating like the same patterns and mistakes that families, go through. And that is honestly before I watched it again. Like I watched it like probably like 2 times in the last couple weeks. So I'm trying to, catch up and make sure I know what was going on it. So yeah, I do have an opinion about it now. And I thought it would be a good conversation to have.
Yeah, I hear you. Let's talk about the three sisters and why we think Terry was the it comes across that Terry is the villain, but then we kind of get to Terry being more so the victim. So the three sisters we have Maxine, played by Vivica A. Fox, to my far left. We got Terry, played by Vanessa Williams, and you got Bird, Tracy, played by Nia Long. So what are the three different how would you describe the three different characters in the film?
Well, the big sister is Terry, Maxine is the middle sister, and Bird is the youngest, right?
Right, right.
That's right, yeah. So Terry, I feel like is more strict. She's like the parent of the sisters, the one that always gonna have like the issues of speaking up or having a point of view against like the mom or these sisters in general, the siblings in the family. Maxine is someone she's like just herself. She does what she wants. She like floats and says everything she wants to say. But unlike Terry, she's not like motherly to the sibling, to the sisters.
Yeah.
Bird was like the baby sister trying to find her way. She's
Yeah.
like she was catching up to the sisters, getting married, found a man. She was kind of like finding her own way, and then it kind of like it didn't shatter, but started to mess up when she tried to do it on her own. So it was interesting to see like that dynamic as well, too.
Who do you relate to any of them? Do you relate to either of them?
And in the sibling aspect, probably Terry. Terry the most. I mean, in general in life, I speak up, I speak out on things, or like if I see something or feel like, it's questionable, I question it. It's something to talk about, or it's something to actually like, is there something we can do differently to kind of, make things move better?
Yeah.
And it doesn't always look right at first. So yeah, it's always, weird conversation, but I'm always that person in my family and personal.
Are you the oldest? Are you the oldest?
No, I'm the second. Second, I have 4 siblings. I have a oldest sister, a younger brother who is 13 months under me, and then I have a baby sister who's also in production.
Okay. I'm
Yeah.
the oldest. I think I connect to all of them. All of them.
Uh-huh.
I understand why they gave Terry such a hard time. So for the people who don't know, it's like Vanessa Williams' character was like, she made the most money. Like she seemed to have it all together. She was married. She's married. She doesn't have any kids. She's a career-driven woman. She's an attorney. She's very by the book. She's like very type A kind of personality. Like all her ducks are in a row. So a lot of the family come to Terry to either bail them out of jail, to like get them out of trouble. They come to her for loans. They come to her for a lot of things. And sometimes she say no, sometimes she get a little sassy and she comes across as like I'm tired of y'all always coming to me. But
Yeah.
I get that. Like,
But I feel like at the end of the day, too, she also had her like childhood taken away. Like her siblings gotta also be a kid while she had to like be the one that focused on like the important things in life. Or like she didn't get to enjoy the family moments because she was kind of like she said, studying and kind of preparing to be that one, to be like Big Mama.
yeah. Yeah, let's talk about Big Mama too here too. So Big Mama, let me see the actress's name. I got it right here because I've seen her in other stuff as well. And Big Mama is Irma Hall. So
Yeah.
Irma Hall plays Josephine Joseph. She's the matriarch of the family. She's all the ladies' mother. And two things I want to talk about with Big Mama here. Because when they say like a matriarch of the family, like everybody got a big mama, or at least you had one. I know I did. My grandmother was the matriarch of our family. I got 17 first cousins. I don't know if I ever told you that, EJ. I have 17 first cousins, and we all grew up like siblings. But my big mama, her house was the place where we all went. So I've had that too. And then I've also had, my grandmother passed a couple years ago. So then the family kind of deteriorates when it's no longer a house to go to or family dinners or Thanksgiving or nothing like that. So what is your take on Big Mama's role in the film for the family?
I mean, Big Mama, she had it together. She did what she knew what was right to do. I feel like, in a way, following traditions is, she followed exactly what she knew what to do. I feel like that she followed exactly what she knew what to do. Some ways she was hindering the sisters in ways.
How do you say? How do you say?
I feel like because if Terry was the only one who had to be focused on those type of things, it's like she's building one to be a certain way, and she's building one to follow in her shoes, and everybody else is gonna follow and to be what she knew kind of her siblings and her family to be. Like she was the one that probably was what she knew her mom or her grandmother was, and like it passed down to her, and now she has her own family. It seemed like everybody was, kind of passed away except for her brother who really didn't mess with the family. So it was like, and also was living with her. So she was taking care of him. And in a way, it was kind of like, it seemed like she was following a footstep, and then Terry was kind of going to be the next one to take her place, or Maxine, honestly.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think that she was training Terry to like make sure that everybody's good. She pushed Terry like academically real hard, but then she pushed Max like more domestically, like take care of your family and make sure you know how to cook and all that. And I think with Bird, she just kind of let Bird be the baby girl.
Well, Bird, I feel like Bird didn't have that time. That time was all spent with the older ones, and then they probably, she kind of, and then what's her name? Faith popped up in, so she probably got tossed up in that mess. So it was kind of like she Yeah, she probably had the most freedom. she probably had the most normal.
More normal life. Like she was she wasn't a wild card, but you could tell she had the most fun. Like she was the most
Yeah.
carefree. Wasn't a lot of rules with Bird.
Yeah.
You could tell Big Mama spent a lot of time on these two in different areas.
In Terry, yeah.
And then also we got to talk about the title of the film here. So the title of the film is Soul Food.
Yes.
What do you think about that?
I mean, listen, it's I'm eating my soul food too. Like, what was funny at the end of the movie, I was like, they still gonna eat that damn soul food, though.
It's kill you. It's a slow killer. You know how.
Yeah, listen, they started off talking about, yeah, we have to cut your leg off. You ain't been eating right. Like, and then at the end of it, you're like, all right, let's get back together for this good old collard green. Like, I get it. I mean, I get it. I don't know what to say about it. Honestly, I try to eat it, not as much, but you know, shoot, I love my.
See, you ain't learned nothing from the fact. Listen, they said Big Mama had diabetes. Big Mama been eating ham hocks, chitlins, collard greens, baked macaroni and cheese, corn.
Listen, that was a regular Sunday. A regular Sunday.
Sunday, and she just added stuff to the pot, just seasoning. Like, and Big Mama gotta get her leg amputated because Big Mama ain't been taking care of herself with this food. And this is, you know, this food come from. This is what they gave slaves, like this.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah, there's yeah.
So how do you eat healthy now? Are you conscious of how you eat, EJ?
I'm more conscious about how I eat, but I feel like it hasn't. You know, I don't eat as. I mean, I try to eat more. Well, I haven't eaten more like all types of meat. At point I was, but no, I don't eat as much dairy. I say.
Yeah, and when they say soul food too, I kind of feel like they say soul food because it is like comfort food. It do like make you feel all warm and fuzzy and like want to go take a nap.
And yeah, cuddle up or something, go to sleep, you wake up, and yeah, it's like, yeah.
I feel you.
Shoes off, kick
your shoes off after Thanksgiving. Okay, yeah. You brought up Cousin Faith as well, right? I'm gonna start out by saying that even in the opening sequence of the film at the beginning at the wedding, right? If you pay attention, like the first scene, they show each of the women with their man. Mm-hmm. They showed Maxine first with her husband. They getting down on the dance floor. They got their kids with them. Like it shows exactly who they are as a family. Then they cut to Terry and her husband, and she's sitting there stiff, like not even wanting to dance. So her husband, like, come on, she's like real stiff. And then you see Bird and Lim, like she throwing it back, like they having a good time. So it even showed them in that light of like who they are and their personalities in that first scene.
Yeah.
So Cousin Faith comes in, and when Cousin Faith comes in that scene where they're having dinner, all the sisters kind of, all the sisters kind of like, oh, here we go. Like they know Faith come with trouble.
Yeah.
What do you want to say about Cousin Faith?
I mean, Faith was her own enemy. That's pretty much it. Like everybody gave her a chance after chance, and still gave her another chance after she did what she did. So it's like she's gonna be if anybody is wrong, it's her.
I find it. Go ahead. What you gonna say?
But then again, it's like she was raised by Big Mama. I mean, nothing. I don't know. Yeah, I just feel like if anything is, she's gonna be her regardless of how she was raised. I feel like at some type of point in your life, you know that you know, in a lot of situations you can be the problem. So I mean, try to fix it.
Like it's about time you grow up. Yeah. What's interesting too is that Terry done got her man stolen twice.
Twice by a family member.
By a family member.
Terry is strong. Terry is strong. Because even at the end, like in that part where she was, crying, she just found out about that dude. Is like, about her current husband. It's like she went to her ex and was like, I thought, eventually.
Yeah, like it was gonna be me and you. And
yeah,
first of all, because I watched it again last night too, and I just feel like I knew that Max had taken Kenny or whatever when they was younger, but it didn't even like cross my mind. Like, damn, Terry got her man stole twice. My family.
And talking about trust issues, talking about issues in general. Will she be able to marry again? What I was thinking too is like, what would Soul Food 2 look like? Like,
Mm.
it would be amazing, like to see like the dynamic, and if it is a Sunday dinner every Sunday, like it's not kind of how it was back in the day, but if there is a Sunday dinners, what is the dynamic? Is Terry like? Did she find happiness? What is her happiness? What is her peace or whatever? Like,
Did you
and
ever watch the series, the Soul Food series?
no, look,
It's a EJ, it's a
I
whole,
thought it was a Boys to Men series. It was the Boys to Men.
oh, I gotta sneeze. It's a whole, oh my God, I gotta sneeze. It's a whole series. I think it was Showtime. They got like 7 seasons. This is how
Look, I don't know.
Boris Kojo and his wife Nicole Ari Parker. They played so Terry, after she got divorced from Miles, she meets Boris Kojo character, but that's how they met. Boris Kojo and Nicole Ari Parker, that's how they met on this the set of Soul Food, the series. So Nicole Ari Parker played
Look,
Terry.
I do remember this. I don't remember it. Look, I don't remember watching this. I'm like, I do remember these characters.
The show was really good. It was probably like 6 or 7 seasons. It was a long running show. It was good though.
2000.
Yes. So anybody who don't know about the Soul Food series, go check it out. But that's how Nicole Ari Parker and Boris Kojo met and got married on that show.
I didn't know that.
But anywho, to your point, do you think that Maxine and Terry, like, do you think that that's why they were oil and vinegar, because of Kenny from when they were teenagers?
No, I feel like they were similar. Like I feel like before she took her man was like, she was also having to be, she had to take on the responsibility that she didn't ask for. She had to take her to all the days, and then eventually she probably did realize she was the cooler sister, or she was the more fun person. She was the person that can like actually relax, and it would overshadow who she was sometimes. But they were a lot alike. Like they were both like outspoken. They both had their opinions. They both were like alpha. So yeah, the only thing Trey didn't have was and I think that gave Maxine something else too, was a kid. Like it was, forget like the husband or whatever. She was a mom outside of everything.
Yeah, because I paid attention too about last night when because Max had all these beautiful babies, and when she had the baby, and they cut to a shot of Terry like looking in the window at Kenny holding the baby after she had the baby, and Terry is looking like longing, like she ain't got no kids. She never said she wanted kids or not, but that's not true. When they were at dinner, they were at the family dinner, and when Mama said she dreamed of fish, and they was like, "Oh, they me," and Miles said, "It ain't us." And Terry looked at him like, "Why can't it be us?"
Yes, she did say that. You
So
know what I was thinking?
kids.
How messed up would it feel to want to be so supportive? Like she was the first one to be like, "All right, I'm gonna call the doctor. What's the numbers?" Da, 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 da. She was. How messed up is it to be that big sister, to want to be there, to want to be like the first one to support your sister, but it's also like,
I can't stand
this man. Like also.
Yeah, I see you. And
Yeah,
I don't know what it is about, I don't know what it is about siblings. Like nobody gets under my skin more than my sister. There is not a person in this world who can get me to an angry point like my sister can get me to. Like
me and my brother the same way.
I don't know what that is. Like I'm a level-headed, but there's nobody that gets under my skin like my sister does. I don't know. I don't know what that is about siblings, but
it's like okay, you can be good all day with anything. With my with my sibling, I guess with my me and my other siblings can get along. Me and my brother can like be mad at each other for a second. We can and then we'll call each other back and be all cool or whatever. Like anything happen, or we don't even talk about stuff half the time. But yeah, but it's because of like I said. Me and him 13 months apart. I don't know how far they were, but we like are kind of the same in a lot of ways. We're the same person. So like, and then at the same time as Terry, I was like, how to be, speak up sometimes in ways that like, and defend like my mom, or he felt like I was like, being a parent, and he was like, yo, it's not that. I'm just it's kind of my role.
Right. No, you're right. Because my sister is saying to me quick, like, you ain't my mother. And I'm like, girl, ain't
Anybody trying to be your mama?
your mama. But I'm just saying, like, that's whack. You should try to do this instead.
Yeah.
She swear I'm trying to be her mama. Like,
I kind of done it before. I kind of been there, but
whatever you want to do then. Like, figure it out yourself.
right. I didn't mean to make an argument of it because I try to help you out.
And they get snappy.
That's where I understand where Terry come from. And it seems like I'm about to call her Faith. Bird understood like the roles. Like the younger sibling always can sit back, watch all the mistakes the older siblings are doing, all like the fusses and all this stuff, and then come in and be like, hey guys.
Everything's a party. Everything's a party.
Because it's like they get it. They seeing it all happen in front of them, and it's like, a good, I don't know, it's weird.
And she's in the middle a lot too. She's in the middle a lot of times, and she has to keep the peace. Like, she the main one who be like they arguing, like, because I don't know that space either, but I can imagine, like, when you always got siblings that just don't get along, and you always in the middle, and you got to play both sides, and I still got to cook Sunday dinner, and ain't nobody gonna come. Like,
and I ain't the best cook. Now I'm crazy.
Right, everything burnt. Uncle Pete don't want to eat my food. Like,
first time he done kick some food.
So back to Cousin Faith. But so Cousin Faith, my issue is even before they get up to the point where they start having sex. So if for people who don't know, Cousin Faith moves in for a short period of time. So she bombards the family. They weren't expecting her. Terry is the one who took her into her house with her husband. And long story short, Faith and Terry's husband have an affair that Terry actually walks in on. She sees. What was you gonna say? Go ahead.
Was Faith on drugs?
I don't know. You think she was on drugs?
When she came in the house, she was looking crazy, like she
was
hiding from somebody. When she was outside of that little studio, when she was about to have the auditions, she was just, it was weird. I was like, dang, is she?
She's a little disheveled. I think they were trying to portray her as like she's just like all over the place.
Yeah.
Like Faith is like, I forgot what they said too, like, oh, you just come in here whenever the wind blows. Like, she just all over the place. She's not stable. She ain't got no job for real. Like, she just like ain't got nothing going on.
Living on people's
couch. So what I was gonna say is, like, even leading up to before they had sex, like she laid across the pillow with the fireplace. You could see her butt hanging out. Like, she like Faith was seducing this man. Like, she knew exactly what she was before.
She also went to the club before then too. Like, when she heard Terry not going because of whatever she wasn't going for because of work, and she came to the club and was like, "So you're quitting your job?" and had that whole conversation, and then asked them to dance.
So all in their business, all in their marital business, because she eavesdropping, listening to conversations in their house. So why do you think Faith decided to even try to seduce Miles? Why? Like, why would you do that to your cousin?
I don't know. Weirdly, I would say I think that's the only way she knew how to comfort somebody, but also she was comforting herself at the same time. Like, she was making it like, well, I don't know, because she said it in the beginning. She said, "This is my last week here. I'm leaving in the weekend." She knew it was her exit. So it seemed like she was trying to this whole time. I don't know. I guess she liked him.
And the crazy thing is, like, because they said, like, she always come with something. So she came one time, they said Big Mama had to put the house up for sale. Another time, something, like, it's always something. So she just come in, drop a bomb, and leave.
Well, I don't know about the series, but what's funny at the end of the movie is that they were standing at the funeral together or something as well.
Who?
Faith and
Terry?
The husband.
Miles.
Miles, yeah.
Was this after they slept together?
Yeah, after they slept together. You remember Big Mama died, whatever. She was screaming at her Big Mama died. She seen her having sex in the studio. Then, like, at the party, after the party.
Yeah, this was after the party.
Yes. Then at the funeral, that she was standing behind Miles.
Oh, okay.
It was like because they were staring across to each other. Like, Terry was looking across, crying, and stared at Miles, and then the couples
crying too.
Next, yeah.
I just feel like the sad part is because it's true though. Sometimes your family, sometimes you got to look out for your family stabbing you in the back more than you do strangers.
Well, listen, my mama always told my sisters, like, do not, what she say? Do not, like, if don't let another woman move into your house or something. You got a man.
Oh, I don't play those games. Let me tell you something. My friends can't even meet my husband until they come to the wedding. Okay, like y'all gonna meet him at the wedding.
This is from Soul Food.
I'm not playing no game. I'm not with that. Listen, it got to some young little thing walking up in my house. Like even our nanny, because we're gonna have a nanny. Our nanny is gonna be named Bertha. She's gonna be a 68-year-old Mexican woman with.
Hey, it might be this thing. It might be his thing. You never know. You never know. But now, like, that I mean, it's like real in these streets.
Listen,
I mean, yeah, this, yeah.
Have you ever had somebody try to take somebody from you?
No, not like that. Not like.
I've experienced that.
Oh damn.
Yeah.
I mean, but I feel like, yeah. I mean, like
a friend of somebody trying to sneak up on somebody. Never.
Not like that. I feel like it's more so the person like that I'm with is doing it. It's
okay.
some shit like that. It's like, wait a minute, what? Yeah.
I've definitely had a friend try some yeah.
So how would you respond if your sibling did that to you?
Like, how do you even bounce back from that? And who should you really be holding accountable? Because people always say, like, you know, if somebody cheats on you, you know, you should always
the sibling, fuck that. The sibling.
Yeah, in that scenario, yes, in that scenario, you always everybody gotta die. In that scenario, everybody
they gotta go. They have to go.
Gotta die. Bang bang, shoot them up. Okay.
That's funny because I mean, listen, you right.
But I feel like, well, first of all, that's why it got to be some jealousy involved. It got to be some real envy going on that you want what I have. You don't just want a person for yourself. You just want what I have. That's what I think Faith was coming from. Like she saw Terry lifestyle. She wanted to piss on Terry Day.
She walked in the house. Your house is so nice. Thanks so much for letting me come in. Da, 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 da.
And Terry checked her right there. Like, let me tell you something, because this ain't that.
And her excuse for leaving was Terry. I returned and welcomed you into our home, made you comfortable, gave you your own little room, whatever you needed.
Yeah.
And didn't even ask for no money.
I'm telling you, sometimes family they say blood is thicker than water, but sometimes family is not, I don't know. I play everybody with like, I just treat people how you treat, not treat people how you treat me, but just because you family doesn't mean that you got my best interest. That's how I've always looked at it. Like just because we family does not mean you got my best interest. And that's just, I mean, I've been burned by family. So, and then you got friends who are closer than family.
Yeah, exactly. And you talk to them every single day like you talk to your family members or like you would talk to your family. So it's just like, yeah. I just think you gotta be careful. Like I'm very pure with my like intention what I do, but I'm also it's like I also looked at it mean or stern or whatever because I don't do a lot. Or I'm not like moved by a lot of like certain things. I'm not about to like just bend over for you to walk over me. Like it's not gonna happen.
Yeah. Is there any scene in particular you want to talk about the film?
You know what was fun? I want to talk about Miles and Lim when they had a conversation about not talking to the wife about the job. What was your first?
Kenny and Lim.
Kenny and Lim, was it Kenny?
Yeah,
oh, yeah Kenny. Yeah. What was your thoughts on that conversation?
You don't want to talk no black woman, you ain't got no job.
Because I was gonna think something, and then he put out some dollars. I think he gave him like $5.
You just going to take this. Just go. You know what? I don't know because like even with all these conversations they having now with like Ebony K. Williams saying like a man can't be on the bus and all this. Right. So when it comes to a man having a job, right? I think it's more important that a man has a purpose and an assignment. Now, depending on the season that he's in his life, if he's operating in that or if he's not operating in that is more important to me. Because I'm big on character. I'm big on character. Like if you got good character and you got integrity and you got a goal, and I see you actively pursuing that goal, like I don't want to walk in and you just pitching me your dream.
Right.
Walk in and you on at least step 3. You know what I mean? Like you ain't at 10 yet, but you on step 3. Like you done got the LLC, you doing this, and now you tell me, hey babe, I got a dream. You know what I'm saying? Then I'm like, all right, cool. Like I see you putting action behind it. Like it was a clip that went around. The woman was like, if he work at Burger King, sis, like what you mean? If he work at Burger King and he with me, we gonna own about 5 Burger Kings anyway.
Yeah, even that's the goal. Like this is just the first step, right?
Going to do together, because I think women who don't want to be with a man to help him grow, that says more about you than it really does about that man, because I know who I am. EJ, there's no way you with me and we ain't about to have 5 Burger Kings,
right?
So I think so he work at Burger King. I mean, okay, well, as long as you got the potential, the character and the integrity, that's going to get you the money at the end of the day. Do you want to own 5 Burger Kings? Because you got to have that as well. Do you want to grow? If you want to, all right, babe, that's cool. You work at one Burger King, you figure out how they do that, because we're going to own about 5 in the next couple of years. Right. So, but Black man ain't got no job, but he got purpose and assignment, and he on step 3. I'm not crazy. I don't think.
No, I think it was just interesting. I think nowadays, though, it's completely different. Like I think both a man and a woman have the both type, like are expected to kind of bring a lot of the same
to the table
now. Like it's not you just taking care of things at home, you doing this and doing that. And honestly, funny, on the movie, a lot of women, all the women had jobs. So yeah. That's not, the point necessarily, but it's like I feel like now it's just interesting to see how things were back in the day and how things are now. I think a lot of people would be set up to take care of themselves in a situation now, or like they kind of focus to take care of themselves in situations if something happens. It's not a one person that's kind of making sure everything is together. We still have that and it's still fine, but I just feel like now it's just interesting to see that dynamic and how nervous he was to have a conversation with her, knowing that kind of like how she would, or expecting with the expectations of how she would have.
Yeah, and I will say it's a difference in like, if I met somebody today, that don't get me wrong, I don't want to take care of no man. I'm not taking care of no man. Now, and I even feel like even if before we got to a point of marriage, you got to own at least one of those Burger Kings that we was talking about. Now we can get married. Like, right. I'm not even walking into this marriage with you and you still trying to figure it out.
One that is not just, we're not content. We're not here.
Yeah. No, how can you even as a man function to take care of me and a family if you're not together? You know what I'm saying? Like if your finances aren't together. I know you tell me if I'm wrong, but if a man finances ain't right, you can't even sleep good. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's not even like
right. Happening all hours of the night.
Right, this is what I'm saying. So, but if I was married and you fell on hard times, if we got married and you fell on hard times, like they were married and then he lost his job.
Yeah,
we in for better or for worse. Now I just gotta dig. I gotta plow. Right. Like, okay, well, what we doing? What's next? What's the plan? You know what I'm saying? Now we in here now. We gotta figure it out. But I'm not signing up for no. You ain't got no job. Let's get married tomorrow. Like, no, babe. Let's figure out how you going.
Like, what? You gonna listen to Lenny? Out of all people, huh?
That's all I'm saying. I don't know how because what did you think about when Ebony K. Williams said, that she wouldn't date the bus driver? What do you think about that whole narrative of like women need to, like they say women need to take the man who, he do drive the bus.
I think, well, one, I don't know her intentions on what she said. I only seen the little statement and like the little part. But I did also think it was what they posted was kind of like I had questions about it, honestly. I didn't honestly think too much of it. But I'm like, well, she don't want to date the bus driver. She ain't got to date the bus driver. Like that was my whole intention on it. Like, dude, well, damn, don't date the bus driver. It's not like to me. Huh?
Right, date somebody else.
Yeah, and that's if somebody else wants you. Like, it just depends on like if that's what you want, go find it. But she is this famous and right. So it's kind of shows like who she is. But to me, it's I don't think nobody should settle. Nobody should settle. If it's not good enough for you, don't settle. Hey, your intentions, what you want in life, what you see yourself with, it can be a fairy tale, it can be made up. But at the end of the day, like, go for what you want. I don't necessarily think what she said was wrong. I think people should be more open about their thoughts, and like that person that they are trying to find can be in that bus driver or could be in this. Okay, who you talking about? The Burger King worker, but like whoever it could be in this person, but you gotta also be able to see that in them. So if they don't show it to you, and if this bus driver ain't everything that you want and like that fairy tale that you see, then hey,
yeah,
I do feel like you should not settle. Like if you're not happy, find happiness. Like it is weird to be in situations and just to just
just be sitting there.
Yeah,
I hear you. Okay, and what other things?
I want somebody who can help me with this house.
You know what I'm saying? Like, but I do think people need to come when you come to the table, like at this big age that we are right now, at this big age that we at right now, when you come and sit at this table across from me, I've been working hard. I have been working hard. You have been working hard. We know what it took to get here, to make our dreams come true. We done seen so much of the world. Like, I'm sitting at this table. I don't even think it's fair sometimes to sit across from somebody who doesn't bring me anything. Because even as a man, like, I'm going to talk about experiences I done had, whatever, doing things, doing amazing things. And if you're not content in who you are and confident in who you are, that is going to crush you. Yeah. What other scenes did you have that you wanted to talk about? Any other scenes?
The final scene with Ahmad, when he screamed at everybody after he was like, he got it before the house blew up.
Yeah.
He was crying about how he got, he had a lot of everybody because they all fought. What do you feel like? I feel like in my family, we do have we are a family who we all have strong personality, strong thoughts about things. How do you feel about that dynamic of arguing as a family one, and then if the kids are involved, is that necessarily a
go ahead, finish.
I guess a bad thing?
I feel like I grew up where children are seen and not heard. Like, that's how I was raised. Like, my father would, even if I'm in the room and adults is having a conversation, you ain't gotta. Did you just utter a word? Like,
yeah.
No, you don't even exist in this room right now. You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna be at the small table looking away. But I'm listening though.
And they swear they be speaking in code, and as her baby daddy, he on that stuff. And
stuff is my damn.
But so I think that I grew up from that era. Ahmad was all up in the family business.
He was in it. I don't even know how he could have been more. I said that was me.
You was in the business like that,
I couldn't help but to be in the business. I feel like I was just like him. I was the only. I remember even when my grandmother was down. I was thinking when she was passed away. I was the only kid up, looking around, waiting for what was happening next in the hospital because I'm trying to and then I figure out what's
going on. And you trying to figure out what's going on.
Right, because I'm I'm hearing all kinds of. I remember because I was still up, they took me back there, and they was still having conversations about my grandmother. So I knew what was going on. I knew what was it was just me. But even with the family drama, family situations, I wouldn't know.
You know what's interesting because do you think that I don't remember in the movie if they actually sat Ahmad down and said like, okay, this is what's happening. I think the mother did. Him and Maxine did have a conversation. They was walking one day and he was asking like, is Big Mama gonna be okay or something like that?
When he said that when he was spending the night with Terry.
Okay, because he kept asking the adults like, yo, like, because I think we do ourselves a disservice too, especially in Black families. Like, we really don't talk to our kids.
Yes.
Tell them because we think they can't handle it, or we don't want them to be scared, but they don't know we be scared anyway. Like, we don't know what's going on. You keep bringing me up to this hospital. I see my grandmother laid out on the table. She ain't woke up in days. Like, somebody please tell this little boy what's going on.
I remember my grandmother, like it was the craziest stuff I've seen. And then like I remember when she actually passed, they told me she was
what they say.
They was like she was okay, she's fine. And I was going home. So I got home and to a lot of people at my house, I'm like, what is going on? Then I'm mad because they telling me she passed away. So I'm like, why y'all like this is
lying?
It was like my emotions as a kid was like, I was like 8, 9.
And you know what? Because after I did the Iyanla show too, we had a episode similar to that. Like they didn't tell these two kids. The father didn't tell the two kids that the mother was dying of cancer. They never had a conversation with the two little boys, right? So that boys is like out of control. They like rebelling. Don't listen to the father. But that's because you build a relationship where your child doesn't trust you anymore.
Yeah. But it's so interesting as a parent. Like I said, you following what you know. Like you following what you know until you feel like that's the wrong thing. Until you remember as a child and it's not and forget that like, well, this is how I was raised type stuff. It's like, I didn't like that feeling. I knew how it felt to be this, treat this type of way. So it's like, I'm gonna do this. So yeah, it is a responsibility that you just. A lot of stuff as a parent is just stuff that you take on as you think about how you felt as a kid. Even I'm not talking like I got kids, but I'm like.
But no, it's true. But it's a good point to think about it now because I do feel like when we think of protecting our children now, what does that look like? Because protecting are you able to have open, honest conversations with your child? Are you able to come to their level and explain to them what's happening in their world, in the world, without triggering like responses that you can't, because really I think parents are afraid they don't know how to respond to the child's emotions. Yeah, that's what it really is. So have you done the work on yourself where if I can explain to my niece, like even my grandmother passed on my dad's side a few years ago, and my niece, she used to Gigi on the FaceTime. So she started asking questions like, why my Gigi ain't call me? Like, where Gigi? And my sister calling me panicking, like, I don't know what to say. What do I say? I'm like, girl, tell her Gigi is in heaven. And we can't see her on the phone no more, but you can pray and you can talk to Gigi. Like we don't have the tools. Some people, we just don't have the tools to tell our children like the truth. Like, okay, she's not here no more. So how do we?
Sorry, I got a dog in the background. No, but I feel like too, it's kind of like it's also about the way they take it. They look at it. It's like, yeah, I mean, shit, yeah, that's hard. I mean, that's hard. I think what's funny with Ahmad, like, he was there. Yeah, he was talking about the leg being cut off. Well, come on, grandma, you have to get your leg cut off. He was there in the background. He was like in the kitchen. That was me. So like I was around when all of that kind of those conversations. I didn't know that it was about to happen. It was like very sporadic, but like I was there when all like the phone calls was happening and all that type of stuff. So it is, I guess, like, and my mom as a kid was like very upfront with me about all, like everything, like everything that was going on. She would talk to me about it, like sex, with relationships, with anything. Like if she felt some type of, had some thoughts.
So how did that translate now into the relationship you have with your mother now? Like y'all cool?
Yeah, we real cool. We cool. Yeah, we cool. But then like too, I feel like too, I was, yeah, I mean, we cool. We was very cool. Like she also taught us how to like what love was like and like all that type of stuff. So like I know how to like look at my mom, even with conversations, even things that happened in the past. Cause like she would even talk to us when she wasn't right. So like about certain things, and it would mess up certain relationships or certain dynamics with the family. So it's like I just respected it at the end of the day. Like at moments, I feel like, and I do say my siblings take certain things differently than I did. So yeah, I think it's just a different. Yeah, it's just the dynamic.
It depends on how it hits the child. Oh yeah, my mother was really transparent with me growing up, like real transparent, and it made me like I trust her. Like okay, like I can trust what you say because you're gonna tell me the good, the bad, the ugly. Like
yeah, even if I don't want to hear it, Mom, I'm calling you to event, but you're gonna make it worse. But
yes, yes,
I'm
for real. And my father was good at my father was good at like if I call him to say something happened or whatever, he was always looking at it from the opposite side. Like he never just took my side because I was his daughter.
Yeah.
And that would make me angry as a child, but as I grow older, it made me shift my brain of how I think about things. Like I'm always looking from the other side as well. Because he would always be like, well, what did you say to that person? And I'd be like, don't
That's all I'm saying.
like they
don't know when I was wrong or when I stepped out of my the boundary of being respectful. She would be like, all right, so where did like yeah, I used to get in trouble a whole lot when I was a kid. But yeah, I mean I would do respect that. But I feel like it comes with the child. It's like you can't like Faith. I feel like everybody was up front with Faith. Faith took that shit and manipulated and ran with like her own what she could do with it.
Yeah.
But then other kids, they take it as, they take it and learn from it and process, it's just a different, like, I guess, feedback from kids. I would say this, me and my 4 siblings are all different. We grew up under the same roof, the same, like, it is so great. I look at it, all of us so great, like, it's so wrong. And we all have our own lives. Like, it's the craziest thing.
Yeah. I think that in Ahmad's situation too, like because he also was in the conversation when they were in the kitchen and Terry was like, when they all said, well, Terry, we thinking that you could just pay for the house or pay for mama's bills, whatever like that. And then, when she picked the knife up and everything, Ahmad was there too. Ahmad knew everything that was going on in the family. And he took it upon himself as a child to try to get the family back together. Like he thought that was his responsibility.
And that's the interesting part of it. That's why I say that. But the most interesting thing of the movie was it was narrated from a child's point of view.
Wow, EJ, I know that, but I never thought of that.
At the end, that's what I like. When he burst down and broke down, he had everything was put on his back, on his shoulders. Like Big Mama, she didn't mean to do it, but like she put all that pressure on him. And she didn't know, like, even when she had even tried to say her last sentences, that was another layer. Like, it's just like he trying to figure out what it is, and now he's trying to collect the thoughts and make sense of what he thinks is right to do. So, like, it was just a lot. Like, that was the most interesting thing of that whole movie was it was from a child's point of view because they are always around. They're always there. They're always.
It's so good, EJ. Like, I know that. Like, yes, I know that, but I never thought about that. Like, yeah, that he is telling that story from the beginning to the end. You hear his
I guess we just started from my auntie's wedding. My auntie's bird wedding. and
then he says it too. He was like, that's Samuel. Auntie Bird don't really mess with him no more, but every time he come around, we know it's trouble. Like
because that's the kid, like, oh man, I know I'm about to have fun over here, or this is gonna happen, or this is the cool uncle.
Yeah. When Lim got locked up and he like, oh, Lim going to jail again. He already on 2 strikes.
You know what was interesting about that scene? Lim stopped across the street and looked at him like, I just talked to you about this. Like, and it was just the interesting, like, kids are always around, they're always listening. I don't know what point they were trying to prove, but it's a lot of points you can make from that. Like,
that is so true. I never thought about that. That's a good point. That's a good note to end on. So do we have any life takeaways that we could take away from soul food? Like, what do you take away? I'm gonna think about this for a second. A life takeaway from soul food. I'm gonna say again about the food situation. I do think that especially in our community, like it's comfort food. They say it's soul food, but it is a slow death. It is not the healthiest food for you, especially if you're overindulging in it. Like they talk about every week, this how they eating.
Every single Sunday.
And that's what Big Mama died from, that diabetes. And this is what killed Big Mama, is the soul food.
Raise your hand if you want to have a Sunday dinner with pig in the hospital over Big Mama's bed.
Yes. And I'm trying to think, and then also that the sometimes blood ain't thicker than water.
Yeah, I'm about to say, I think Terry, knowing enough is enough. You've done a lot. You do a lot. You don't have to do everything on your own. One time I was talking to somebody, it was talking about like a financial person. It was like, I was like, I got Netflix, I got this, I got that. It was like, yeah, I bet your family got your passwords too. How about you get Netflix, they get Amazon, the other one get you
spread it out.
It's not everybody, is just one person's paying for it. Now it's going from what how much ever to like $5 per person. So it's just like, instead of doing it all on your own and having it all be you don't have to do everything. You don't have to be everybody's hero.
Spread it out.
Yeah.
Terry, I think with Terry, because all that weight on her for like having to pay for everything, not that she didn't establish well boundaries, but I don't think she had the tools to like implement her boundaries in a healthy way. Because she in a way that she was always snapping at them. Like it was
but she wasn't happy. She wasn't happy. Her happiness was taken away. She gave it all away. Like she literally and figuratively gave it away. Like, here you go. Here's this much happiness I got. Here's my man. Here's my other one.
And as much as she complained about it, she continued to do it.
Yeah, but that's the only thing to do, and that's the only way. Like, that's the only way she could communicate and
love. Probably communicate love, because Terry wasn't necessarily a warm, loving, affectionate person. Yeah. So sometimes that's how, I got family like that too. Like, they'll enable you in that way because that's the only way they know how to show that they love you. Is money. So even when with everything that happened with Faith and she was angry with the family, and then all of a sudden now you see the for sold sign, or they selling the house in front of, now that's like Terry like throwing a tantrum almost, like, y'all not getting no more of my money, I'm done. And that's her way of like pulling back the love.
Yeah, and you know what? The next few scenes later, she was in the house screaming, the house, when the fire was going on, trying to find a fire extinguisher on her, because she cared that much. But at the same time, I'm gonna teach you a lesson because I'm this mad. Yeah. Like, it doesn't have to. Communication, shit. That's what I learned.
I hear you. So that is our breakdown of soul food. I hope y'all enjoyed this. I so appreciate my friend EJ coming on and chatting with me today. Say where the people can find you at, EJ.
No, follow me on Instagram at EJ Dutton. At EJ Dutton. You know I'll do this. Look for me out here. Watch some shows we working on.
There you go. Thank you, y'all.
Thank you so much, Mercedes. Talk to you soon.